Then teka. Yung gusto ko lang ipaano, no? Kasi huwag kang maglagay ng mga bagay na equal, na hindi equal. Yung expression mo, or yung tingnan mo yung, yung then, hello? Yung then 1 minus 2x to the fourth times 1 plus 3x to the n, tingnan mo yung line na yun. Yung next line niya, hindi siya equal, yan yung buong expansion. Hindi siya pwedeng maging equal dun sa isang term lang. So, ang pwede mong gawin dyan, this is, bigyan mo ng ano, lagyan mo ng, kung gusto mo lang na mag-focus dun sa coefficient, sa term containing x squared, then, or term containing x, pwedeng yung underneath, term containing x equals, so yung line after that. Kasi, tinan mo, mali yung equation na yan as it stands kasi yung line na yan, okay, first line. Pero nag-second line ka na equals 30x minus 8x. Which is not equal to yung yan. Diba? Instead, yung next line mo, nag-focus ka lang sa terms containing x. So, yung ano dyan ay coefficient, dapat dyan, that should be coefficient of x times x. So, bigyan mo ng pangalan niya na ano. Tapos, kahit na kung gano'n, wala nang dots. For term containing x. X to the first. Yan. Tapos, tanggalin mo na yung dot kasi wala na yan eh. Ayun. So, once umabot ka na dyan sa stage na yan, okay, 3 times yung masaset mo na yung quadratic. And ang lalabas, n is equal to 10 or n equals, teka, so, naguguluhan ako sa ano. Yung ginawa mo dito ay, kasi, di ba, I think ano yan eh, dapat din i-rearrange mo to so that, tingnan mo yung ano, yung solution mo ng quadratic for n. Nasa ilalim ng yung conclusion mo na yung coefficient ng x ay 22.
Kasi ano yata po eh, I forgot. What if kaya? Wait ko to.
Ngayon, inaano ko lang, note ko lang. Hindi ko ni-expect na ayusin mong now na.
Sige po.
Pero gusto ko na ano, kasi ang ano niyan eh, di ba? You are writing an argument. So yung sequence, importante siya. So yun lang, rewrite. Lagyan mo na ng note, rewrite. Okay, tapos pag nakuha mo na yung 10, okay, 30 times 10 minus 8 times minus 30 minus 8. So ito, sinubstitute na yung 10, no? Para ma-identify yung coefficient. Sige. Yung number 3, patingin. So ang ano lang, rewrite that para lang malinaw. Number 3.
Ginawa ko po kasing Reslick eh. Meron pala po dito.
Ganito. since wala pa yan, balik tayo sa Resnick. Pero pakita mo sa akin yung solutions mo sa B and C next time. Okay. Tapos buksan ko yung Resnick naman. Yeah. I-zoom tong ano. Okay. So yung mga add, gusto ko na makita yung ano, no? So Earth is approximately a sphere, circumference in kilometers. Okay. Tapos ilang sig fig? So okay, so 3 sig fig. Teka. Hindi ko i-verify yung calculation. Titingnan ko lang ano yung nangyari. So 4 pi. So yung area naman is 4 pi, 6.37 times 10 cube meters. So order of magnitude dapat 8 times 3 times 2 is 6. Tapos meron tayong something na times around 100. So okay, pwede. Tapos yung volume in cubic kilometers. Okay, 4/3 pi r cube. 3 times 3 is 9. So 6 cube is going to be times 4/3 pi is going to be order of magnitude 100. So sige, reasonable. Okay, yung next item patingin. How many microns make up 1.0 kilometers?
Why is it necessary to name such units like micron, Fermi, mga shake, mga ganun po? Why
Kasi
do you
ano yan eh. Hindi, for example, what if yung trade mo or yung specialty mo, panay ganun yung lengths na ginagamit? So, convenient na gumamit ka ng length ng scale na nagmamatch dun sa ano yung typical na mini-measure mo.
Parang angstrom
Kesa,
po.
for example, ang mini-measure mo, let's say ano ka, biologist, tapos ang focus mo, bacteria. Convenient ba yung meter as a scale?
Hindi po.
Hindi, di ba? So usually pipili ka ng scale na more or less pasok dun sa objects na pinag-aaralan mo. So yun, dun ang gagaling yung bakit nagbibigay ng special names for yung ano ba yung typical size ng bacteria?
I don't know po. Micrometers?
Kaya check natin.
Virus yata po
yung radius of bacteria.
Size.
Bacterial cell.
Micrometers nga po. E. coli, 1 to 2
nasa micro. Diba? So, kaya kung ganyan, so ang convenience siguro na gawing scale ay fractions of, kung halimbawa pinag-uusapan yung structure ng isang bacterial cell, then yung convenient na scale doon, baka 1 out of 100 of a micron. Kung pinag-uusapan yung environment including the bacteria na nakikita mo dun sa, at least yung nakikita mo through the microscope yun. Baka may sense naman na micron yung scale. Depende sa ano yung specific thing na pinag-aaralan mo.
So na-name na po sila instead of parang, I will put this in scientific notation all the time.
So para siyang para instead of writing times 10 to the something meter, meron sang special units for that domain.
Opo.
So, okay, 1,000 meters. So dito, how many microns is in 1 kilometer? Yan. Kaya tayo intindihin nyo, 1,000 meter times 1 to the... Ano yung first line ay... 1 times 10 to the 9 micrometer. So, kaya, pakita ko sa iyo yung paano ko naman paano ko gagawin yung question yan. Teka, i-screenshot ko muna yung solution mo para meron akong copy ng question.
Sige po.
Tapos share ko yung screen. Ayun, saan na aking slides? So, tabi lang natin to dito. Tapos dito sa side. Pag micro, so 1 micrometer. Ano ba yung micro? That's 10 to the minus 6, di ba?
Opo.
So, 10 to the minus 6 meters. So, gusto nating magbilang, ano yun? So, ilang micrometers meron sa isang kilometer? So, 1,000 or 1 times 10 cube. 10 cubes yung K divided by 1 times 10 to the minus 6 meters. So, ito yung number of micrometers. So, 3 minus negative 6. So, 1 times 10 to the 10 to the 9. Tapos nagka-cancel yung meters para makakuha ng isang number. So, ito yung number of micrometers in a kilometer. So, what fraction of a centimeter equals 1.0 micrometer? So, ganun din. Yung useful dito yung mga scientific notation. So, fraction of a centimeter equals, so 1.0 micrometer divided by, so it is a B, divided by 1 cm. Ano ba yung 1 cm? 1 times 10 to the minus 2 meters, diba?
Opo.
So, pag nag-scientific notation ka, so 10 to the minus 6, tapos 1 times 10 to the minus 2. So, ang makukuha natin, 1 times 10 to the minus 4. Pwede kasi pwedeng yung conversion mo dito na pumasok. Palitan mo yung prefix with the correct power of 10.
Opo.
Okay? So, that's just one way. Yung how many microns are, ngayon, saan pumasok tong paano nagkaroon ng 0.9144 meters times this? Ano yung question dito? Parang wala. Ito yung question lang. Ano to? Para saan to? 1 yard.
Opo.
Sige. So kung 1 yard naman, ang pwede mong gawin ay kailangan natin ng conversion factor between the yard and a meter. So ito yung 1 meter, no?
Opo.
And then after that, divide by, so how many microns? So divide by 1 times 10 to the minus 6 meters. Kaya, tingnan mo. Ayun. So, or, yung method na nakita ko naman, nag-multiply ka ng conversion factor, micrometer to meter. Sige, this also works.
Opo.
Okay. I think yung nakikita ko naman pattern dito, ito. Usually naman, at least dito sa conversion factors, it's usually nagmo-multiply ka or dividing by 1 so that the units will cancel.
Opo. Dimensional analysis po.
Dimensional analysis yung method. So, kung ganyan na may ginagawa mo, pare-pareho naman at pare-pareho yung classes of problems, we should be examining so many of these. Ano ba yung mga kasunod? Pati yan. So, stop sharing muna ako. Check mo ba sa answer key ng Lesnick?
Opo.
Okay, sige. So patingin ng next. Kung ano yung mga nagawa mo.
Ito po.
So for long. So dimensional analysis lahat, no? Okay, hindi ko na check yung calculation dito Kasi kung multiplying or dividing by 1 lang naman yung ginagawa mo, it's going to give you the same thing. So, let's go to tingnan natin yung mga kasunod na questions. And then if I think that there's something that's worth knowing, then kasi yung method ng ang method ng the Resnick-Haldane Walker, tingnan mo yung may classification siya ng problems, yung 1 dot. Tapos may 2 dots, tapos may 3 dots. Yung 1 dot, ang equivalent niyan dun sa New Syllabus Additional Math, parang yung mga blue problems natin doon. Yung 2 dots, yan yung yellow. Tapos yung 3 dots, yan yung red. So it's sorting by complexity. So kung so siguro kasi given and daming problems ang Resnick-Haldane Walker, di ba? Look at the chapter alone. Ilan yan? Pag tingnan natin yung chapter, yung sa chapter 1 ng Resnick-Haldane Walker ng Resnick, yung problems niya umaabot ng 60.
Opo.
Which is medyo unreasonable kasi na-expect na uubusin mo siya kung halimbawa ang pace mo 1 chapter a week.
Bruh.
Or 1 chapter every 2 weeks. Hindi sa university ganun Ngayon, so explain ko rin bakit ganun. Bakit ganyan kadami? Ang dahilan bakit ganyan kadami kasi yung book, gagamitin ng teacher yan for a few years. Tapos, gusto kasi usually ng binibentahan yung market na yung mga items pwede sa mag-assign ng paiba-ibang homework every year.
Opo.
So, let's say, kung gusto mo ng order of magnitude estimate ng ilan yung dapat na ginagawa mo dito, probably 1/3 or 1/2 nung ad.
Hindi pa lahat.
So, hindi talaga lahat. Kasi, yung amount of time na uubusin mo dito, malaki. Ngayon, syempre, tapos kung nag-uubos ka ng problems, you're better off trying to do yung mga 3 dot at saka yung mga assorted.
Opo.
Yung 1 dot, ang silbi niyan ay tingnan mo yung structure ng book natin. Pag tingnan mo yung book natin, divided siya into sections, di ba?
Opo.
Sige, i-share ko sa yung book para makita mo yung ma-point out ko yung features. Kasi yung mahirap na when dealing with Resnick ay if marami hindi marunong gumamit ng book May misconceptions about paano gamitin yung textbook natin. So, I'm going to share yung book muna para ma-point out ko. Okay, so ito, ngayon, tingnan mo pag tingnan mo yung structure ng book natin, so, sorted siya into sections, 1-1. So, when you're reading this, ang idea, you work on one section at a time. Tapos may sample problem, and then stop. Pagdating mo sa part na to, before you proceed with the next thing, before the next section, pumunta ka na dun sa exercises. So, tingnan natin yung paano ginagroup yung exercises dito. Tingnan mo yung problems niya. Nakagroup siya by module or section. So, section 1-1, yung problems na appropriate for that section is 1 until 9. So yung equivalent niya sa additional mathematics ay siguro parang half a chapter to, half a section to. So yung typical reading pace or yung in-expect na reading pace dito ay 2 sections at a time. At most.
Opo.
So hindi talaga siya, so pwedeng, ano yan eh. So, pili ka, so ang ano dito, so ang mga gusto kong makita talaga dito, ano yung sagot mo sa, okay, na-check, so, anyway, na-check mo na ba yung mga sagot? Tapos ano pa, may answer key yung book. Yung answer key niya, yung mga numbers lang na odd. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yung even, kaya siya nandyan kasi yung teachers para meron ng pool na mapagkukunan ng homework.
Opo.
Ngayon, kung ginagawa mo naman yung odds, hindi mo talaga kailangan gawin yung mga even. At least on your first reading. Usually, yung mga ganyan, mauubos mo yan after pagka or dumadami yung nasa-solve mo. Kasi your teacher, for example, kung ikaw yung nagtuturo nito or nag-tutor, eventually, magagawa mo lahat yan. Pero within a first course or first time yung pinag-aaralan, hindi ka talaga pwedeng mag-expect na mauubos mo siya. Yung tingnan mo yung new syllabus edition of mathematics. Yung structure ng new syllabus edition of mathematics is really designed na magagawa mo siya lahat-lahat, di ba?
Opo.
Kasi yung idea, yung sa new syllabus edition of math, aside from yung book itself, meron siyang workbook. Tapos yung mga teachers, meron pa silang test banks. So maraming sources yung mga teachers. Plus, meron silang additional sources pa na ano yung mga exams na pinamimigay sa ibang schools. May ano yan eh, may pool of preliminary exams for schools na they take them just before kumuha sa ng actual na O-levels in additional math. Para siyang pre-test. Helps people figure out kamusta na yung preparation mo. Bibigyan kita ng copy ng isang pre-test later. Kasi once nagawa na natin yung A, B, C, D, E, yung next ay, okay, paano kapag assorted na yung style na additional mathematics exams? Okay, so that's one. So per section, ano pa? So ano pa yung mga mapansin sa yung features ng problems? So, tingnan mo, may separate section. Yes?
Yung ano pa parang chapter 2. Tapos hindi na section 1, section 2.1, section 2.3. Tapos yung mga 2A, 2B, 2B, 2C, nandun sa dulo na. Parang ganun po.
Oo. Ito kasi, hindi ko gusto yung design ng ng physics textbooks na ang layo ng exercises mula dun sa section na ginawa yung kaya maganda yung textbooks halimbawa ni Griffiths kasi exercises kaagad within the section itself. Hindi tulad ng ito, lahat ng exercise nakatambak dun sa dulo ng chapter. So, yung mga students na hindi marunong gumamit ng book, nag-i-illusion na, babasahin ko muna yung buong chapter bago ako mag-solve. Diba? That's not effective. Diba?
Baka may butas po yan yung knowledge niya until the end.
Okay. So, yun yung So, ganyan siya ginagawa. So, may 3 section. Pag tingnan mo yung book natin, yung sa chapter na to, 3 sections lang siya. Time, length, time, may mass, tapos additional problems na. Okay, so yung gagawin natin for today, so ang gusto kong gawin mo para mas mo-optimize mo yung paggamit ng book. Yung mga one dot, ubusin mo siya na yung one dot na odd. And make sure you check your answer at the end. So every time matapos mo isang item, check. Ginawa mo ba siya for this?
Yung
Check
ano
mo
ba?
yung key?
Opo.
Okay. So meron bang item na hindi mag-match sa key?
Wala naman.
O sige. So, ganito. Kasi ano naman, hindi ako nag-expect na maging mahirap tong part na to eh. Ano ba yung, may isang exercise on time na I think worth doing. Is it here? O sige. So ito, based on atomic clocks. Okay. So nagawa mo ba yung number 19? Itong ano? Yeah.
Ito nga po yung gagawin. Ito nga po yung inisip ko, tatagal po ako kasi gagawin ko talaga siya.
Mm-hmm.
Yung 19 yung parang pinaka-interesting tsaka siguro pinaka-mahirap na problem sa time. Ay, hindi sa time. Sa buong una.
Actually, ito yung ito yung problem na sa tingin ko yung pinaka-highlight siguro ng buong chapter na to eh.
Opo.
So let's work on this. No. So kasi kung na-check mo yung iba, then let's spend the time working on this. So pwedeng so share mo na yung screen mo. Tapos gawin natin to. So stop sharing muna ako. So number 19.
Ay. Saan na banda? Ayun. Ayun.
Teka, bago mo gawin yan, binasa mo ba, may example I think sa book eh, na win-workout din na nag-workout ng similar na problem. It should be in saan yun?
Sorry. Section 1 pa.
Yeah, check ko lang. Density. Wala. Okay, so sige. So ganito yung yung approach ay ganito. You're lying down, di ba? So draw a sphere or draw a circle. So kailangan nating assumptions dito. We will assume na nasa equator ka. So draw a circle to indicate.
The Earth is no this not here.
Kasi or pwede mo i-assume na equinox.
Sige po.
Kasi ang daming panggulo eh kung ano eh. Hindi, kung equinox ang sige, pwede. Magpalit ka ng view. Like yung Earth, yung Sun. Okay, sige, sketch ko yun. Sketch ko yung itsura ng system para mas simple. So let me share my screen again.
Oo nga po yung sunset pag nasa Terminator na. So, nasaan na? Ito.
Okay, kaya share ko yun, yung itsura ng system. So ganito yung yung setup ganito. So let's draw a circle. Tapos, ang gagawin natin yung view ganito. So, sun is here. So yung rays ng sun pa ganito.
So
And
parang
for
Archimedes po?
Tapos, yung assume natin, para mas simple lalo, yung axis nandito. Tapos, ngayon, when you're lying down on the horizon, when you're lying down, tapos nag-sunset, then, nandito ka. Tapos, kung halimbawa, may kita mo yung sunset habang nakatayo, saan ka naman? So, I'm going to exaggerate your height kasi ang laking fraction niya, di ba? Tapos, eto, you're lying down, you see the sunset. Suddenly, stand up. So, makikita mo magsiset na naman yung sun uli. Eto ka ngayon. So, ito yung before, ito yung after. This is your height. So, pag ganyan, and then you suddenly stand up, hindi pa sunset, the earth will rotate this way until magsa-sunset uli.
Yes.
Kita ba?
Abo.
Tapos, syempre, during that time, may angle na i-rotate yung earth.
So, negligible ba po yan?
Di ko alam. Tingnan mo. Try setting it up. Diba? So kapag pag umiikot yung earth, so yung A yan yung before, nag-sunset na, and then B, nakatayo ka na, magsa-set uli yung sun. And ang given, so ano yung mga known? Yung known, yung time interval between sunsets. Ang isa pang known, yung height mo. Ano yung mga hindi known? Hindi known yung radius ng Earth. Kasi, so, unknown to. So, find yung radius of the Earth. Tapos, ano yan eh? So, ang assumption yung stopwatch plus measurement of your own height. You should be able to find ano yung radius ng Earth and therefore, ano yung circumference.
So hopefully po this will be close to yung 40,000 kilometers ba po? Yung radius.
Yeah. Okay, sige. Mumute ko muna, tapos pag-isipan mo ulit. Pag-isipan mo ngayon.
More than. Circumference mo pala. 2 pi. Mga 4,000. 40,000. Okay, so
Okay. So ang assumption dito ay We don't know the radius. We only know your height. And we only know the time elapsed.
Okay. So,
And from there, kaya mong i-estimate yung magiging radius ng Earth and therefore yung circumference.
so it turns from when is the sunset? So 24 hours, one full rotation of the Earth. So the sun will be where it should be. Avoiding yung equinox problem. So kung wala siya nasa same pa rin siya, next day it should be approximately the same place. So 11 seconds para makalculate yung theta. Naisip ni Daddy na baka may nga po pala yung speed of light. Baka may effect. Pero siguro negligible yung po natin. Yung effect niya siguro po.
Walang in-expect na magiging effect kasi yung sun, ina-assume naman continuously nagpo-produce ng parallel rays.
So tama. So magana po, so yung tuloy-tuloy po siya, hindi tumitigil. So it's been there for forever basically po yung so para siyang tuloy-tuloy. There's no delay of the light kasi there's been there. So 11 seconds over 1 day, it's 6,400. Times degrees or radians. Set up muna degrees. Times, buti nila naka-degree mode. Per day 360.
Actually, kung ano naman, pwede ka rin actually, mas convenient yung radians dyan.
Parang niisip ko nga po kung radians or hindi siguro po. 2 pi.
Kasi kung radians lang, d times yung angle is 2 pi times yung fraction.
2 pi ba po? Yes. Mag-go over. Bakit yung nilagay?
Kasi yung time na yan, that's the amount of time it makes. Yan yung fraction of the whole rotation.
400 times day 2 pi radians. So this is equal to almost mga ay kung 1 nga kaya. Wait, minsan pala. Over.
Teka. 11.1, no? So 11.1 divided by 24 times 60 times 60.
Okay.
Tapos times 2.
What is the okay, this is problem. Okay, so radius of the Earth.
Draw a triangle. Kailangan mo ng triangle dyan eh. Tapos may right angle ka dyan.
So pag nalaman na itong theta, inisip ko po yung ginawa ni Archimedes Parang ganon, sort of. Not really, but sort of. Ito, instead of a right triangle.
Hindi, tingnan mo yung mag-draw a line connecting yung the head at first sunset to the head at the second sunset.
So here, triangle. Okay, nice. So this is isosceles. Given that the Earth is roughly spherical. Okay. So
okay, tapos may isa pang characteristic yung yung triangle na yan dahil sunset. Ano, ganito. Tawagin mo na yung point kung nasaan yung ulo habang while lying down, call that A.
B0. Ay, O.
O. Tapos yung location ng head kapag nag-sunset uli, tawagin mo siyang ABC. Let's call it point C.
Sabo.
Yung head pag nangyari yung second sunset. Okay, ngayon, connect A and C.
Oh my gosh, it's Archimedes. Oh my, no. Okay. So, see, if you're standing upright, wait lang. Simplified form. And it looks
Okay. So, question. For the head to see another sunset, what can you say about angle OAC?
OAC. So, OAC. Wait. So, nakababa, 180 and 90 degrees. Tapos naakyat. Dapat, this angle, called this sun is. So, dapat OAS 90 degrees. OCS.
OAC.
Saan siya? Ito. Let's see. They converge.
Remember horizon, di ba? So, may mali yung diagram kasi pag ganyan, hindi pa sunset yan. Para mag-sunset, ano dapat nasaan dapat yung head? Kasi, di ba, pag nandyan, nakikita mo pa yung sun. Para matakpan ng horizon yung
tangent. Tama.
So, yung AC, that's tangent to the circle.
I will fix this somehow. Even it means I will butcher him. Wait. So wait lang. So it is tangent. This is tangent. Tama. So that is the missing piece. So lalagyan ko na po. I see. It's a geometry problems, not less of an algebra. So wait. So this is here. It should be tangent. Na. So here. Tangent. Okay, ayusin ko na lang yung sun. Sun, bakit
Or draw straight lines to indicate yung rays ng sun instead of drawing the sun.
S. So this is the new C. Here is little stickman. C. And then here is new color. So when it's A, assuming that your head has no height. So this is, wait, A. This should be a 90-degree angle. When it's at C, wait. So the surface is here at A.
Teka. Tingnan mo yung triangle uli na na-produce. OAC is what kind of angle is OAC again?
OAC, right angle.
Okay, and then we have a triangle. na may isang length na known, yung CB. Alam din natin yung angle. Ano yan eh? Yung first figure mo is already enough para ma-set up yan eh.
Sige.
Yung the fact na isosceles, okay, that's going to be useful kasi we don't know what the radius is, so call it R. Yun yung unknown natin eh. Ngayon, yung length na OC, ano naman yan in terms of R?
OC, radius plus your height.
So R plus H. Okay. Height is something na given, di ba?
Where is it? 1 point, capital letter. Okay.
Okay. Tapos AB is still R. Kaya R plus H yung OC.
Oh, okay. So trigonometry. So so the angle is this one in radians. That's why it's easier to use radians. I see. So this is in radians. Theta. This hypotenuse is okay. So cosine. Is equal to adjacent radius over radius plus 1.73 meters over hypotenuse. Yes.
Okay. Ngayon, if you evaluate that in radians, teka, sige, set ko lang yung calculator mode. Angle input is in radian. Tapos cosine of, what's cosine of 2 pi over 2 times pi divided by 24 times 60 times 60.
It's almost one.
Okay. So may problema tayo sa almost 1 kasi baka magkaroon ka ng subtract ng errors pag gumamit ka ng kung may rounding. So ano pa so kung ano anyway, sige. Try mo muna. So solve for R. What expression will you get?
Quadratic one.
Sure ka?
Ay, wait lang. Diretso. Linear. So, something. This one. R is equal
Sige.
to...
Tapos ano, wag mo muna i-substitute yung value. Gusto lang natin ang expression for R in terms of H and theta.
In terms of H. In terms of theta and H.
So cosine of theta equals R over R plus H. So solve for R.
Oh no, almost over 0.
Okay. So, ano yung mga trig identities? Kaya?
Oh no. Okay. Trig identities. Ano to? The conjugate. Oh no, it looks like an H. Why did they choose capital H? Now it makes my life harder. One. So now it will become quadratic elements.
Hindi. Kasi cosine, ano naman yan, mga knowns lahat yan eh.
Okay, there. H cosine squared theta plus H cosine theta over sine squared theta. So this monstrosity, the insert sign paragraph. Intro. Surely this is something else.
Kaya, subukan ko rin.
There must be a simplification for this. It's impossible
Yeah.
that this.
Baka may baka may masimpleng paraan. Pero yan yung yan yung starting point eh. So, cosine theta, pwedeng cosine theta is equal to r over r plus h. So, okay. Yung sign di natin magamit kasi walang Ngayon, cosine of theta is near 1. Is there some way that we can express cosine of theta in terms of yung half angles? Or in terms of sine? Cosine of theta is cosine of theta over 2 times 2.
Over 2. Okay. So
1 minus cosine.
square root of cosine theta is 1 cosine theta over 2 ba?
Or alam mo ba yung expansion for cosine of theta for small theta? Wala
Di
pa
ba?
kasi tayong kasama dapat yan sa magiging topics natin for dun sa math eh. May Taylor series yung cosine of theta.
Oh, no. Cosine
So,
theta.
yung Taylor series, pero kung walang ganito, kung hindi tayo magte-Taylor series, so we have to use identities na. So, cosine of theta, okay, try natin na in terms of cosine of, express this in terms of sine theta.
Okay.
So, tingnan natin. So, r over r plus h, we're looking for r. So, let's first, so, pag ganyan, r is going to be r cosine theta plus h cosine theta, or r times 1 minus cosine theta is equal to h cosine theta. So r is equal to h cosine theta over 1 minus cosine theta. Ngayon, yung cosine theta, pwede tayong gumamit ng half angle. That's cosine squared theta over 2 minus sine squared theta over 2. Yung 1 minus cosine of theta, pwede siyang i-express in, di ba yung 1 minus cosine theta, pwede ring i-half angle yan.
No po.
So 1 minus cosine theta over 2 is sine squared theta over 2, no?
No po.
So So 1 minus cosine theta. So yung denominator pwede na isuot as 2 sine squared theta over 2. So R is H cosine squared theta over 2 minus sine squared theta over 2 over 2 sine squared theta over 2.
Laki na po.
So yung numerator dapat cosine squared theta over 2 minus sine squared theta over 2 times H. Let's see. So cosine squared, that's 1 minus 2 sine squared theta over 2 over 2 sine squared theta over 2. Ito ginagawa natin identities kasi hindi tayo makagamit ng Taylor expansion. Mabilis yan pag Taylor expansion. So you know ko R is equal to H times 1 minus 2 sine squared theta over 2 over 2 sine squared theta over 2. If we distribute this, we'll get R is equal to H times 1 over 2 sine squared theta over 2 minus 1. Teka, yung numerator, cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared. So, dapat magka-factor of 2 yan.
Oh, yes. Opo. So,
Yeah. Divided by 2 sine squared theta over 2.
hmm. Okay. So, see. Nice.
So, nakuha ko ay R is equal to H over 2 sine squared theta over 2, the quantity, and then minus H. Kaya ako ng picture para makita mo. Tapos check mo na kung may mali. Kasi meron akong katangahan din na ginawa. Okay, nasend na.
It's still way too big. What? Open. Yes. Open sesame. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Ngayon, tingnan mo yung yung equation number 8. Bakit ko ginawa yan?
Equation 8. Equation.
Up to equation 9. Pansin mo may sinulat ko siya as h over 2 sine squared theta over 2 minus h.
So,
And then compare. Yung angle na nakuha natin times 10 to the minus 8, no? O 10 to the minus 4. Di ba?
Opo.
So, for small angles, ang sine of theta is approximately theta.
Opo.
Which means, yung first term, malaking malaki compared sa second term.
So, therefore, it's wrong.
Hindi. Ibig sabihin lang yan yung correction, if we include yung minus h na yon, that's going to be negligible. Ito kasi, so far, ito exact pa eh. So, pwedeng stop ka na dito, evaluate mo to. Pero, ang magiging point kasi niyan, kung ang sagot natin ay to two significant figures lang,
Opo.
diba? May yung final answer natin dito, yung pag-subtract ng h, it's not going to produce anything significant.
Opo. So, 6,378 kilometers. Yung unfortunate na nakakuha ko, resting. Oh, hanapin ko eh. Ito pala. Yung nakakuha po unfortunately is 5.31 lang. Well, where kaya yung ano po na? Maybe it's in the curvature of the earth. Maybe yung gravity is
Hindi,
pulling.
tingnan mo yung tingnan mo yung expression. Yung denominator is going to be square of times 10 to the minus 4. So that's about 10 to the minus 8.
Opo.
We're dividing 1.1 by something na ang size ay 10 to the minus 8.
Opo.
Yeah. Ano ba? Yung hindi, 1.70 yan, ano? So let's do the division. Yung angle natin ay, calculate lang na yung angle just to be sure. So, 11.1 divided by, ngayon yung number of seconds in a day is 24 times 60 minutes times 60 seconds. That's 1 point, bakit, paano naging 8? Yeah, so times 2 pi. Times 2 times pi. So 8 times 10 to the negative, so 8.1 times 10 to the negative 4. Or 8.07 times 10 to the negative 4. Ngayon, 1.7 divided by twice this square. Sige. So, nakuha na natin yung angle. So, 1.70 divided by 2 times, sige, sine square na natin yan. Sine of that angle. And then, sa square natin yung sine na yan. Yung sine of that angle divided by 2. ang nakukuha ko ay 5.2 times 10 to the 6 meters. Ngayon, kahit mag-subtract ako ng h is going to be very small. So, hindi siya walang effect yan dito.
Nice. Opo. So,
Ngayon, yung kamusta yung agreement with the best value?
very bad.
Pero, kung times 10 to the 6 ba?
Kasi daming factors eh. Yung yung curvature of the Earth, baka may mga dami pong factors na not even
Kaya, yung radius ng Earth ay 6,371 kilometers. Ang nakuha natin using this method is 5.2 or 5,200 kilometers. So, malapit na rin. Hindi tayo i-expect na we should be expecting na perfect agreement pag ganyan. Pero it's close.
Iniisip ko po kasi baka siguro mga 6,000 or baka 5,800 siguro. Mababa po yung 5,300 eh.
Okay pa, pero okay pa rin yan eh. Okay pa rin yung agreement eh. Kasi, di ba, remember, this is an estimate. Yung so kung okay na siya for some, di ba, using those simple methods. Kasi kung mag-i-expect tayo if you want better precision, kailangan mas malaki I think baka kailangan na mas maayos yung timekeeping natin. Tapos, ano pa yung mga, di ba? Tapos, yung height. Yung mga yung mga geodetic engineers, meron silang mga special tools to make sure na yung na-measure nilang angle tama. Diba? So may mga ganung dito, ang assumption lang, you're lying down and then you stand up and then you wait for so many seconds. Sunset ulit.
Tsaka siguro po, mga atmospheric na conditions, etc. po.
We don't really know kung ano yung kung unless we actually perform the experiment.
Opo.
Ano yan eh? Kasi maraming assumptions pumasok din sa calculation natin, di ba? Kasi for example, kung nasa North Pole ka ba, yung time between sunsets, is it still going to be the same?
Hindi po. Months po yung North Pole. Saka South Pole. Months para mag-set yung sun, mag-rise.
Pero yung hindi, yung may kita mo na mag-set siya over the horizon. May time, yung time delay between that, di ba? So,
pero ito po, in-assume
niya for the same angle, mukhang mas malaki, ang laki masyado ng So, hindi siya mukhang hirap hindi gagana tong method. So, may assumptions din na na nasa sakto yan eh. Pero, given na ganyang ka-primitive yung model natin, that gives us the same order of magnitude, that's still pretty good. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. Kasi, yung ko lang naman dito ay, yung sa chapter 1, I think yan yung pinaka-importanting problem dito eh. Tapos yung iba, mostly practice on dimensional analysis. Tapos yung other thing, so yung mga kailangan nating bantayan, yung number 31, kamusta?
31, nasagot mo.
Yung mga three dots.
Identical pieces of candy, hopefully. So, ano po siya, yung assumption po dito is that assume the empty space in negligible. Pero di ba po kung close packing yun, in-assume po natin na sinashake siya hanggang mag-close packing. Parang dito po may BB po kami. Pag sinashake na po, nagana yung they partially conform to yung close packing. So, makakalculate din naman po yung space.
Kaya, tingnan natin yung, binabasa ko pa yung problem. So, alam mo yung container, tapos alam natin yung volume ng isang candy, tapos closely packed.
Pero negligible yata po yung yung spaces, so I don't think it really matters. Pero kung hindi po negligible, then pwedeng gamitin din closely packed. Close packing.
Actually, yung itsura ng number 31, it looks like a rate problem lang. Yung i-set up mo ng tamang expression for the rate. Sige. Ito, yung fully work mo yung number 31. Pag-usapan natin niya sa Tuesday. No. Yung additional problems, look kung dito sa additional problems, you may choose to do some of them yung if you find something interesting. Pero yung niyan ang gagawin kasi natin after this, diretso tayo sa next chapter. Kasi yung point lang naman nito ay mag-convert ng units, masanay gumamit ng estimation. So, punta tayo sa chapter 1. So, we'll start with chapter 1. Chapter 2. So, yung gagawin ko ngayon, yung next, so mag-share ulit ako ng screen. This time, I'm going to talk about kung ano yung difference, yung how we define position, displacement, velocity, speed, using sa physics.
Opo.
So, yung idea ng so ganito mag-measure ng, so yung experimental setup ganito. So, what we do is, so what we're going to consider is motion on a line first. Tapos, ang assumption niyan, okay, we have a line, and beside the line, or on the line, you can make marks. We choose a 0. This is going to be called the origin. And then we also choose directions. So, usually, for most situations that we deal with na one-dimensional motion, it's either left or right. The convention that we'll use is yung positive direction.
To the right walk.
Is to the right. This is a convention. Kasi pwede naman tayong gumamit ng to the left yung positive direction eh. Kaya lang, mostly yan yung convention. So pag may mga questions about in what direction is it moving, to the left, to the right, is it speeding up or slowing down, and so it's important na i-state lang yung convention. Positive direction is to the right, and yung position, so the position of an object is, so ang assumption natin dito, may marks yung ruler na ginagamit natin to label positions. And we use a scale to label where. So we can have both positive and negative values of position. That's negative 3.
So parang x-axis lang po.
Oh, may x-axis, and then so when you say position, anong label yung associated with dun sa ruler? So yun yung that's the position. Sa book ng additional mathematics, ang tinatawag niya sa position, the displacement. Pero kasi iba yung terminology na ginagamit sa physics eh.
Isn't displacement mo yung actual na, yung parang distance, absolute value from the origin?
Hindi. Displacement displacement can be positive. In physics, not in math, yung displacement can be positive or negative.
What?
Pero yung
Why?
iba yung definition niya. Kaya ano yan eh, kaya confusing na yung nasanay tayo positive displacements only. Hello, kaya balik tayo dun sa... So, balik lang tayo dito sa question. So, yung displacement is defined as position after minus position before.
So it's not position minus the origin.
Oo. Pwede kasing displacement from the origin. Then, pwedeng pag ganon, position now minus origin, position of the origin. Pero usually yung context for displacement is position before and position after. So displacement is really isipin mo, yung displacement represents is an arrow from a chosen point to another point. Kaya may displacement from the origin. Meron ding displacement. Pag sa displacement lang, ang context na ginagamit usually ay position after and position before. And it has to be specified what those times are. Like in this example, t equals 2, the position is -7. At t equals 3, the position is -9. So the question is, what is the displacement between t equals 2 seconds and t equals 3 seconds? Paano sagutin yan?
By subtract. Maybe ganun lang po, just subtract.
Okay, so in that case, what's the displacement?
Negative 2 meters.
Negative
2 meters.
-2. Ngayon, if we look at the number line, so para lang may sense yan. If we draw a number line and we look for so let's say ito yung number line ulit. And then we look for, let's say this is -7. And then -8. And then this is -9. The displacement here, since this is yung location at 2 seconds, and yung location at 3 seconds, this can be thought of as an arrow going from -7 to -9. Yung negative indicates na yung displacement is to the left. So the sign, it indicates the direction. Kaya importante yung distinction between displacement and position dito. Kasi usually displacement, you're talking about two events. At an earlier time and at a chosen earlier time and a chosen later time. So, kaya ganyan. Ngayon, is it going to be correct to say that the distance traveled is distance traveled between, so for this example ulit, is the distance traveled between t equals 2 seconds and t equals 3 seconds -2 meters?
No. It's the other way around. Wait. Yes.
Okay. What does knowledge about distance imply? Yung distance traveled. Same meaning siya dun sa ginagawa natin sa additional mathematics. What information do we need to know?
the reversals or whatever
Yeah,
stuff.
so it includes everything that happens between t equals 2 and t equals 3.
Not the
So for example,
the actual displacement.
so the displacement contains no information about what happened between negative 2, between t equals 2 and t equals 3. Kasi, paano kung ganito yung naging motion ng object? At 2 seconds, ang ginawa niya, ganito. So, nag-wiggle-wiggle. Tapos, at the end, bumalik siya sa negative 9. This kind of motion will still give us a displacement of negative 2 meters. Pero yung distance traveled, you have to measure out yung forward, backward, yung backward, forward, backward, diba? You have to total this. Itong portion dito, yung going backwards, going forwards, back, forward, back, and then forward. So the positions are not enough to specify what happens in between the two times, and so you can't get the distance traveled. You have to have more information. Okay. Next. So displacement. Ngayon, yung position, displacement, the things that are unchanged are the following. So let's say you have position versus time. What's unchanged is the velocity is still the derivative. The acceleration as a function of time is still yung second derivative ng position function. Yung distance traveled, so still the same sa additional math, yung distance traveled is still between two times is still kung initial time t1 to t2, you have to get the absolute value of the velocity and then integrate. So ito, velocity, acceleration. So as you've seen from additional math, velocity can be positive or negative. It indicates direction. Acceleration can also be positive or negative. Yung speed is equal to yung absolute value ng velocity. So it's still the same thing. Kaya yung a lot of the techniques that you've learned from additional math is going to cross over here. Okay. Ngayon, hanap tayo ng question na na pwedeng gawin. So let's look at the velocity versus. So let's look at the hindi din ako magtatagal dito sa part na to sa chapter na to kasi we'll only be focusing on yung mga bagay na hindi mo pa alam. So sa second chapter, let's look at some problems for okay. Yung shock wave. Okay, what else? There's also another thing. Yung average speed. So, yung average speed, ang definition niyan is Sorry, average velocity muna. So average velocity is actually displacement divided by change in time. Yung average speed, iba naman. So, average speed is going to be defined this way. Kung ano yung time elapsed between two times, and the integral of the speed. So, ito yung magiging definition. Kaya importante yun eh. May distinction between average velocity and average speed. Now, the reason why average velocity comes out that way is this is actually the integral from ano yung definition na ginagamit? From t sub 1 to t sub 2 of acceleration times, so integral siya ng acceleration. And it turns out na it's just going to be the change in velocity over change in time. So average, yeah. Kaya, check ko lang yung definitions ko. Displacement and change in time lang siya eh. So, let's forget about this. Displacement lang at saka change in time. Okay. So, let's do some problems from the book. Displacement and average velocity. So let's do number 5. Let's do number 5 first from chapter 2. Ito. So the position of an object moving along an x-axis is given by this. Find the position of the object at the following values. And then, what is the object's displacement between t equals 0 and t equals 4? So, pakisagutan to, tapos patingin ang solution mo. Kaya, send ko sa'yo yung photo niyan para mag-back up. Yeah. And then share your screen. Okay, so ni-screenshot ko na siya. So, sinigay ko yung screenshot ng question. So, see. X plus 6Q. This is 2-5. Teka, 3T wait, when t is equal to 1, ano yung function, ano yung value ng x?
3.
3 minus 4 plus 1. So, paki-recheck rin yung BCD. Kasi positions lang ang hinahanap.
Hmm?
So objects displacement between 0 and 4. So 0 to 4 is tapos don't forget the units. Teka, basahin mo yung question sa F. Average velocity for the time interval from 2 to 4.
For reversal in 3.
So, ang importanteng information lang dyan ay hindi, kaya ito. Check mo yung book. Ano definition ng average velocity? So, buksan mo yung PDF. Tapos tingnan mo. I think it's better for you to see and to believe.
No. Why?
So,
Oh! This is a cringe.
Ano yan eh. Kaya ako pinapagawa kasi kailangan alam mo yung definitions niyan eh. Confusing yan pag hindi mo na experience. Teka. Yung time ay 2 to 4, di ba? Hindi, sige. Check mo yung book. Ano ba yung definition ng average velocity? Look at page 4, yung ano, equation 2-2 on page 16.
Opo. X2 minus X1 over T2 minus T1.
Okay, so ano yung T1 dito sa situation na yan?
2.
T sub 2?
T sub 2. Tsaka yung isa, T sub 4.
So T sub 1 equals 2. T sub 2, yung after, is 4. So 4 minus 2.
Yun yung
Okay, ngayon, ano naman yung numerator?
error. Brain.exe stopped working. 12 minus negative 2.
Okay. So 7 meters per second.
Unexpected system crash. Brain.exe stopped working.
Okay. So average velocity. Ngayon, yung letter G naman. Hindi, Desmos na. So use Desmos to graph para mabilis.
Desmos.
Okay. And then, mark off yung t equals 2 at saka t equals 4. So, ano yung graph? So, paki-mark lang yung yung positions na yon. So t equals 2 at saka t equals 4, di ba? So, yung isa, so 2, tapos ano yung value ng x kapag 2? So, it's negative 2. And then the other one,
12.
okay. Ngayon, so on this graph, what does 7 meters per second represent?
The average velocity for this section po.
Oo. So, graphically, ano yun? Slope of what?
Slope of that one, that curve po. Derivative.
Hindi siya slope of the curve. Remember, yung slope of the curve, yan yung derivative eh. This is not a derivative. Sige, ano yung equation ng line connecting 2, -2 and 412?
Mm,
and then graph it. So y minus negative 2 or sige, y minus 12 over and then over x minus 4 equals teka, kinumpit na natin yan. Saan na yung kinumpit yan? Diba? 12 minus negative 2 over 4 minus 2. That's 7. Okay, so on the graph, it represents the slope of the line connecting yung initial at saka yung final positions. It doesn't say anything about what actually happened between the two. Kaya ano yan eh. Kaya tuloy si Newton invent. Kasi at the time, kung wala pang calculus, ang kaya nating i-measure na madali, average velocity. And then yung limiting process to get yung derivative, 'di ba? Dilitan natin yung change in time para and then so displacement over a smaller choice of change in time. And then we get a better approximation kapag lumiliit yung delta t. Kaya lang at this stage average lang 'yan.
Opo. Using po nagpapahuli po sa una. So, mabago so bibilis po siya. So, inaccurate na sa wala siya yung 9.15 seconds na. Inaccurate meters over 9.15.
Hindi, ganito. This could represent, for example, what if let's say we're observing this situation. Tapos ang ginagamit natin camera na nag-on off lang every second. Or every 2 seconds. Kung every 2 seconds, ang data points mo lang actually yung dalawang yan. So that's going to be our best guess if we didn't know about what's happening between those two times. Okay, so meron tayo ng F, yung average velocity, what it represents on the graph. Wait, let me close this. And then, okay, balik tayo sa tingnan natin yung problem uli. Okay, yung number 7. Subukan na ito. Yung 2 trains. Ano yan eh, classic problem yan eh. So baka na-encounter mo na siya.
And when the when the what do you call those? The people the the train conductor just peacefully driving so that he collides with the other. And then also the bird for some reason literally attempting to end his own life by flying back and forth into both trains.
May mga syempre may mga unrealistic assumptions yan. Like, yung bird can instantly change direction. Kasi real birds will have to slow down before they can reverse, di ba? Pero dito, let's assume na parang siyang bouncing back and forth. So that yung speed is...
And you will assume po the bird literally does not care and just bounces back and forth. Bro.
Na at 60 kilometers per hour.
And then two trains po at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour are literally going to head-on collide and nobody cares. What is the total distance before the trains? So it's the something. Which is the graph. Flies off of one train. Yung ano po, like the bird flies off here. The front of the train box. Or from above.
Actually, pwede mo i-graph yan, no? Para ma-sketch lang. So, kailangan mo yung graph ng trains, yung positions ng trains, at saka yung position ng bird. Para kung gusto mong i-interpret yan. Pero ano yan eh, may story na connected dyan, which I'm going to tell probably next time. Kasi magsa-7 na. Gusto ko muna pag-isipan mo muna yan. Classic problem yan.
Opo, narinig ko na po siya once before. Narinig ko na po yan. I just don't know. I forgot. Reaching the other train. Blah, blah, blah. Straight track. Okay. So, what is the total distance? So, parang siyang, ano po yung camera, inisip ko, snapshot mo when the bird collides with the other tree.
Okay. So, may mga, yung isa pang question ko na hindi kasama sa tanong, no? Ano yung displacement ng bird from the start na umalis siya dun sa isang train? Let's assume na galing sa origin yung isang train. Doon din manggagaling yung bird. So, going to the right yung train na kasabay niya at the start. So, ano yung displacement ng bird after from there to collision? So, pakidagdag na lang. So, what is the displacement of the bird from the start to the collision? To the collision.
Maybe there is some logic to the phrase bird brain.
Anyway, ano yan eh, kasi yung actual na realization yan is mirrors.
Tama
Tapos,
po.
instead of a bird, you have light. Tapos, yung dalawang mirrors approaching each other. Pero kasi, ano yan eh, ayaw natin ng numbers involved with the speed of light eh. So, okay, bird.
But theoretically, if you change the speed within the speed of light, will there be, baka siguro magka-relativistic effects?
wala pa, hindi ka mag-expect ng relativistic effects if you have two mirrors and light. Nagkakaroon ka lang ng relativistic effects kapag may dalawang observers in relative motion. Anyway, gagawin natin yung relativity after matapos natin yung Newtonian mechanics. Before we go to EM, we'll do relativity.
No!
Kasi
before
mas madali, alam mo yung ang interesting sa relativity ay, alam mo yung math na kailangan niya? It's just algebra, trigonometry, at saka hyperbolic functions. Yung mga cosh at saka hyperbolic sign. Or E, kung gusto mo yung and log. You don't need calculus to understand the basic ideas of special relativity. Anyway, eto. So we'll stop here. Tapos pakita mo sa akin solution mo dito next time. Classic problem siya. So it's worthwhile na thinking about it. Kung ang yung may joke dyan hindi joke. May story about John von Neumann. Ang story ay John von Neumann was given the same problem. Ano siya? Famous mathematician and mathematical physicist. So, nung tinanong siya, isip siya. Tapos binigay yung sagot. It's this. Namangha yung nagtanong, how did you know? Did you know the trick? Do you know the trick to solving this? What trick? I summed the series.
Bro.
So, ang ginawa niya, in-add niya lahat ng tinravel ng bird. Yun yung claim. Pero, hindi mo kailangan gawin yun. That's not the simplest solution here. So, think about it. Okay, so we'll stop here. I'll see you again sa Thursday. Ngayon, kung gusto mo mag-advance, choose yung 2 dotted problems from chapter 2. Ang niyan ay, yun yung natin. Yun yung PPDE na sa chapter 2. Yung 1 dotted, kapag stuck ka or confused about the 2 dotted problems, then that means there is a 1 dotted problem that you have not yet done. So find it, solve it, before and then go back. Kasi ganun naman yung ganun naman yung math at saka yung physics. May advantage tayo ngayon kasi may alam ka ng calculus, kaya hindi tayo masyadong tatagal dito sa chapter na to. Yung iba kaya nahihirapan kasi wala silang calculus pag first na physics That's why inuna natin yung calculus. Okay? So, we'll stop here. See you again on Thursday.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye po. Thank you po.